Alright, shalom, shalom, shalom. This is brother number one. We're called back with another lesson. And first and foremost, I want to start with giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors to our apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well and the true teachers of Israel. And peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, 144,000, doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their existence, man, in this wicked world to do so, and their freedoms. So yeah, man, this is kind of off the cuff. I plan to do another lesson, but you know, this one just came to me through the spirit, man. It's just something I saw on YouTube. And you know, these people, man, they just consistently and constantly, and I say it raw, just take the piss out of us as a people, man. Right, as Israelites, man, they take the absolute piss. And our people are so dumbed down and so, you know, flattered by words and gestures and statues and plaques that they accept this bullshit that's handed to them, man. But it's good, you know, and I say that because look, as much as the antics of these devils allure me, I have the understanding, like many of us do, that we aren't here. And do you know what? I'm actually going on a rant, and I haven't even really explained this. Let's get into this first, and I'll continue my rant. So this is California passes legislation to formally apologize for slavery. It's like, you know, so what? Rule was part of a package of reparation bills to address racial disparities, though some measures were rejected. Do you know what measures were rejected? And I must say them just in case it doesn't get into it. Obviously, the obvious one is actually a form of cash reparations or monetary reparations in itself, and the second one was the reclaiming of stolen land, you know, to so-called African Americans, man, big land which was stolen during the Jim Crow era and before that, because not everyone, there were some free men towards the end that had properties and stuff, man, but more so the Jim Crow era, these guys they weren't free, you know, those Israelites out, they weren't free, man, you know. So it says California will formally apologize for slavery and its lingering effects on black Americans in the state under a new law that the Governor Newsom signed on Thursday. And this man voted against those other bills that I just mentioned. It says the legislation was part of a package of reparation bills introduced this year. And the video I watched, I'm not going to play it because sometimes you get into all sorts of playing other people's videos on YouTube. But he's surrounded by these sambos, man. You know, what they say in, you know, Jamaica, skin in their teeth, or skin in their teeth. Yes, grinning and showing their gums, right? Because they're so happy that Californians apologise for, you know, enslaving their ancestors. It's a joke, man. So it says here, the legislation was part of a package of reparation bills introduced this year that seek to offer compensation for decades of policies that drove racial disparities for African Americans. Newsom also approved laws to improve protection against hair discrimination for athletes and increase oversight over the banning of books in state prisons. It's more stuff that no one should care about, man. You know? Look, the hair thing's wicked. I accept that. I can admit that it is wicked. You know, they discriminate against, especially our women, about the type of hair that they have, man. Like they criminalize everything that we do. It says the state of California accepts responsibility for the role we played in promoting, facilitating, and permitting the institution of slavery, as well as its enduring legacy of persistent racial disparities. The Democratic governor said in a statement, building on decades of work, California is now taking another important step step forward in recognizing the grave injustices of the past and making amends for the harms caused. You can't make amends, man. There's no amends that you can make that is going to be able to pay for what you've done. You can't offer us, and when I say us, I'm talking about those of us in this truth. You can't offer us anything. There's nothing that you don't have enough to pay the bill. Right? You don't have enough. Even though the idea, right here, even though the idea of cash payments to the descendants of enslaved people remains unpopular, a UCLA study published last year shows that a majority of Californians favor some form of compensation to address the state's long history of anti-black racism. Look, if you're going to address the fact that there's racial disparity and systemic racism where we can't make it in this world the same as everybody else, the only way to fix that is to hand over some of that wealth. That's the only way. You can't talk our way into wealth. You can't apologize our way into wealth. It has to be tangible, man. Something we can hold. Right. So this is just a spit in the face, man. It says California has moved further along on the issue than any other state. So all this just patting themselves on the back, man. But state lawmakers, I'm going to jump down, I'm not reading all of this, but state lawmakers did not introduce legislation this year to give widespread direct payments to African Americans, which frustrated some reparation advocates. Let me see if I can find something. How can I do this? Let's try it this way. What else is? See what it says. I'm not going to go too deep here, just to make an example. 6 times victims have received reparations, including 4 in the US, aka Babylon. The Holocaust. Yeah, we knew that was going to be top of the list. Right? What's next? Apartheid. Right, so what do they do then? So let's read this one, because this is another piss take. One of the duties of South Africa's Post-Apartheid Truth and Reconciliation Commission, besides investigating human rights abuses committed by the apartheid government, was recommending reparations and other policies to redress those abuses and aid victims of the former regime. The Commission recommended about $360 million in reparations to be distributed in 6 annual payments to victims identified by the Commission. But in 2003, President Thabo Mbeki announced in 2003 that he would authorize only $85 billion. Well, that doesn't make sense. I'm sure that's a spelling mistake. I'm sure that should say if they recommend 360 million, then he's offering 85 billion. That's more. So that must mean 85 million. I'm guessing to be given in one-time payments of $3,900 above the average annual salary in the country at that time. The recipients numbered 16,397 as of 2012, a tiny fraction of the actual number of people victimized by the regime. And they had to do that. Why? Because it was in modern times and everybody saw it. That's the only reason. And they still, $4,000, man. One payment of $4,000 for the atrocities. Japanese internment during World War II, forced sterilization. Let's read this one. Most American states practiced one or another form of eugenics during the 20th century, with forced sterilizations of unfit people being a prime instrument. The targets were largely, but by no means entirely, mentally or developmentally disabled. Poor black women on welfare were especially likely to be victimized in this manner. So what do they do now? And once again, this is only because this isn't the same thing, man. This is something that was done on a smaller scale and was exposed. It was made public, which is why they had to do that. Right? Their excuses for slavery is that it's so long ago that we can't. It's hard to arrange and the logistics of putting it together to pay the reparations. This is all bull, man. What they should have done is paid it when they said they were going to pay it. Remember that 40 acres and a mule? Right, so 177 living victims received $50,000 dollars. That's not a lot. Tuskegee. Same again. They got exposed. So this is 20. So this happened from 1932 to 1972, right? 40 years, and that's only 2014, which is another reason why these people got paid off. Rosewood, and once again, in 1994, right? And that was 1923. So what's that? 71 years, if my maths is correct. Wait, hold on. Or is it 8? Yeah, 71 years. No, 70. What am I talking about? 77 years. No, what am I talking about? Yeah, 71 years. So like my maths is off. So that's a long time ago, man. And once again, these demons only want to do what's half right when they're exposed, right? In recent times, man. Anyway, I've talked a lot, man. Let me get into some of the scriptures, man. I don't want that one yet. Let's go back here. This is Psalms 79. It says, "O Yahweh, the heathen are come into thine inheritance, thy holy temple they have defiled, they have laid Jerusalem on heaps." They're going into the sacking, man. So think about this. Egypt, the captivity in Egypt, the sacking of Jerusalem, the diaspora, the transatlantic slave trade, Jim Crow, Tuskegee, all these things, man, that they've done to us. It's not just slavery, man. It goes beyond that. It goes deeper than that. So really, if you really wanted to do the mathematics on that, you'd have to add everything up together. It can't just be slavery. It has to be all the experimentations. It has to be all the redlining, stopping people from getting housing and stuff, discrimination in the workplace and getting jobs. The welfare system, making women kick men out of the house to get money. Pushing, Planned Parenthood on our women. Jim Crow, everything. They've done a lot, man. They forwarded the afflictions, the scriptures say. They got a lot to pay for, man. It says, "The dead bodies of their servants have they given to be meat unto the fowls of the heaven." And that's in the curses, man. the flesh of thy saints unto the beasts of the earth. Their blood they have shed like water round about Jerusalem, and there was none to bury them. We are become a reproach to our neighbours, a scorn and derision to them that are round about us. How long, O Lord, wilt thou be angry forever? Shall thy jealousy burn like fire? Pour out thy wrath upon the heathen that have not known thee, and upon the kingdoms that have not called upon thy name. For they have devoured Jacob, and laid waste his dwelling place. O remember not against us former iniquities, let thy tender mercy speedily prevent us, for we are brought very low. Help us, O Yahweh of our salvation, O power of our salvation, I should read it like that, for the glory of thy name, and deliver us, and purge away our sins for thy name's sake. Wherefore should the heathen say, where is their power? Let him be known among the heathen in our sight, by revenging the blood of thy servants, which is shed. See? Now that's what we're waiting for, man. We don't want your stinking money, right? We want blood, right? We want you on your knees. We want you serving us. Your men, your women, and your children, just like we served you. That's a healthy balance, man. That's justice. That's judgment. We don't want your money. You couldn't pay us enough, right? And I understand why, Jakes in the world would think like that, because they don't see the kingdom, they don't believe in it, or they don't know of it. But we want greater than that, man. Right? You ain't gonna just get to, you're not gonna get to just pay us off and forget about it. And you don't even want to do that. That shows you don't even have any form of empathy, man, for us as a people. Numbers 35 and 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. So the only way that they can pay us back is by the blood, man. Right? Romans chapter 12 and 19 says, dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath, for it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. So we are to wait for the Lord, man, until he rises up to the prey. We don't need to do anything until Yahushua comes back, man. Then that day we're going to be grinning from ear to ear, knowing that there's this place and these devils, it's their demise, man. They're going to wish that they drew out and printed billions of dollars and pounds and whatever other fake currency you can think of to pay us off, man. They're gonna plead to do that in them days, man, because what's coming for them, man. It's really funny. It's Ezekiel 25 and 12. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because that Edom have dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and have greatly offended, and revenged himself upon them. Therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh, I will also stretch out mine hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger, and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord Yahweh. And I'm going to read, and anyway, this goes into other heathens, so-called Africans and whatnot. But let's read 17. It says, and I will execute great vengeance upon them with furious rebukes, and they shall know that I am the Lord when I shall lay my vengeance upon them. They're going to know, man. And they're going to know that there's a power of Israel, man. I'm going to skip this one actually. I just want to get a couple more close because I've spent a lot of time talking, man. Let's read this. And this is what we want, man. This is Israel's reparations, man. And when I say Israel, I mean those that know the truth. You know, those we call ourselves Israel, man. Yasha'Allah, man. Princes of the power, man. Right? We know the truth. We know what's going to happen, and that is why, as much as I've sounded very, quite angry and annoyed whilst I've been doing this lesson, man, which I am. Ultimately, sometimes you get like that, but really and truly, what's the point, man? We know that these devils going down. We know that we're going to have them in captivity, man. Right? All the wicked things. No, let me not say it like that. They're going to get paid back for all the wicked things they did. We're going to do it in righteousness, though. It can't be called wicked because what we're going to be doing will be in righteousness, man. Psalms 149 says, "Praise ye the Lord, sing unto the Lord a new song, and his praise in the congregation of saints." And we're singing that new song, man, because the old song was, God and Jesus love everybody, and he has no colour, and the so-called Israelites are those people out there mashing up the Palestinians right now, and what else? Well, the multitude of truths. The MOTB, World War III. It's all. That's the new song, man. No one else is singing what we're singing. Verse 2 says, let Israel rejoice in him that made him. Let the children of Zion be joyful in their king. Let them praise his name in the dance. Let them sing praises unto him with the timbrel and harp. We're going to be doing that. We're doing it now, man. We sing praises to the Lord, but in the kingdom, man, when all is said and done, man, the Lord's going to hear night and day from his people, man. All of us. It's his praise, man. That's what the Lord wants. His praise, his respect, his recognition for who he is and what he's done for us. Verse 5 says, "Let the saints be joyful." No, it's like verse 4. "For the Lord taketh pleasure in his people. He will beautify the meek with salvation. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing loud upon their beds. Let the high praises of Yahweh be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen, and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains, and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord." That's what we're waiting for, man. Right? Let's get one last one. As this comes out a lot, but it is what it is. What can I say? It comes out a lot for me because I like reading it. It's a reminder of what's going to happen to these devils, man. Alright? And I'll close out on this one. So Isaiah 14:1, it says, "For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, How hath the oppressor ceased? the golden city ceased. The Lord had broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted and none hindereth. Right, because they've been getting away with murder basically, man. No one's stopping them. Who's going to come to stop them? Only the Lord can do that, man. Because they're at the top of the food chain. Only how Hashem Yahushua can put that into these devils, man. Right? They continually rub salt in the wound and rub our noses in the shit with these stupid things that they keep doing. The whole earth is at rest. Verse 7, the whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Listen, the whole earth is going to be singing and rejoicing when these devils are out of the way, man. They bring nothing but death. They are death. And destruction and lies and deceit. And pride and all the evil things, all the things that the Most High hates, man. That's them. Anyway, I'm going to close out and give all praises, honor and glory to Yahweh, Ma'ashem Yahushai, Ma'ashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone, who will well peace and blessings to the elect, or the hopeful elect. With that, I'll say Shalom.